The world feels solid. You trust your senses mostly. What if that trust is misplaced? The film The 13th Floor asks this question. It presents a reality. Then it pulls back a curtain. Behind that curtain is another reality. A deeper one, perhaps. Or is it just another stage? This film from 1999 explores these unsettling ideas. It suggests our lives might be elaborate constructions. We might be living inside a story someone else wrote. This thought can be disturbing. It makes you wonder about the ground beneath your feet. Imagine waking up in a world you know. Then you find proof it is not the only one. Douglas Hall, the protagonist, experiences this. He works with a simulated world, Los Angeles, in 1937. It seems real to its inhabitants. They have lives, loves, and fears. Yet their world is a program, a complex piece of software. The people in 1937 do not know this. They believe their joys and sorrows are their own. They do not suspect they are data points in a vast experiment. Their existence is a carefully crafted illusion. The film does not stop there. It adds another layer. The creators of the 1937 simulation, they live in 2024. Their world seems to be the true reality, but is it? The narrative cleverly plants seeds of doubt. If one reality can be faked, why not another? This layering is like a set of Russian dolls. Each doll contains a smaller identical one. Where does it end? The film forces us to confront this possibility. The nature of existence becomes a puzzle with missing pieces. This concept of layered realities is not new. Philosophers have pondered it for centuries. Gnostic texts spoke of flawed creators. They described material existence as a kind of prison, brings these old ideas into the digital age. It uses computer simulations as its metaphor. The technology changes. The fundamental questions remain. Are we truly free, or are we characters in a grand, unknowable design? The film offers no easy answers. It only deepens the mystery of what it means to be. The fishbowl effect is a powerful idea. Imagine a fish in a bowl. It swims, it eats, it lives its life. It does not know it is in a bowl. Its world has invisible walls. It might not even conceive of a world outside its bowl. This is the fishbowl. We too might be in such a container. Our perceptions define our world, but what if those perceptions are limited? What if they are managed? Shows us this. Characters believe they are in the real world. They are mistaken. In the film, the 1937 Los Angeles simulation is the first fishbowl. Its inhabitants are unaware. They live complete lives. They have memories, emotions, and desires. Detective McBain investigates a murder there. He is a complex character. He is also a piece of code. His reality is entirely convincing to him. He cannot see the glass walls of his aquarium. He cannot imagine the programmers observing him. He is, in essence, a sophisticated digital fish. His world is a beautiful, intricate prison. Then the film reveals a larger fishbowl. Douglas Hall and his colleagues in 2024 are also inside a simulation. They thought they were the observers. They were the ones looking into the 1937 fishbowl. But their 2024 world is also a construct. It was built by beings in a higher reality. This is the fishbowl within a fishbowl. It is a terrifying concept. It means that even when you think you understand the limits of your world, you might be wrong. There could always be another, larger container you cannot perceive. This idea has strong parallels with Gnostic simulation theories. Gnosticism suggested our material world is not the ultimate reality. It is a lesser creation, a kind of cosmic fishbowl designed by a being called the Demiurge. The inhabitants are trapped. They are unaware of the true spiritual realms beyond. The Demiurge becomes a programmer. The material world becomes a software program. The sense of confinement, however, remains just as potent. The fish rarely know they are in a bowl until something breaks the glass. The Demiurge is a concept from Gnostic belief. It is not the ultimate god. It is a lesser, flawed creator. This being crafted the material world, a world full of suffering and illusion. In the film The 13th Floor, we see figures who act like demiurges. Hannon Fuller co-created the 1937 simulation. He is a god within that world. He can enter it, he can alter it, he can experience its pleasures, yet he is also trapped by his own desires and fears. His creation becomes a source of his own downfall. The film presents a chain of such creators. Fuller is a demiurge to 1937. But who created Fuller's 2024 world? We learn it is David, Jane Fuller's husband. From the year 2024 in the realer world, which is implied to be our present day or near future from the film's 1999 perspective. Each creator fashions a world. Each world is a kind of trap. The beings within these worlds experience false awakenings. They think they have discovered the truth. They believe they have escaped. But they have only moved to a slightly larger cell. This is the Demiurge's cruel trick. UFO conspiracy theories sometimes touch on similar themes. They speak of hidden controllers. They suggest powerful entities manipulate humanity. These entities might not be divine. They might be advanced beings or even other humans with secret knowledge. The goal is control. The method is deception. The simulated worlds are ultimate forms of such control. The inhabitants are puppets. Their strings are pulled by programmers they cannot see. Their free will is an illusion programmed into them. The false awakening is a key part of this deception. Douglas Hall believes he is uncovering a murder mystery. He thinks he is moving between his reality and the 1937 simulation. He feels he is gaining control, but his every move might be anticipated. His discoveries might be part of the script. This is like dreaming you have woken up only to find you are still asleep. It is a common experience. It reflects a deep human fear. The fear that our struggles for truth are futile. The fear that freedom is just another programmed sensation. There is a pivotal scene in the film. It crystallizes the fishbowl metaphor. Ashton, a bartender from the 1937 simulation, becomes aware. He realizes something is wrong with his world. He discovers he's a program. He tries to escape his designated reality. He does this by driving to the edge of his world. He literally drives as far as he can go. What he finds is not more land. He finds the end of the program. He crashes into a green wireframe grid. This is the boundary of his fishbowl. This moment is terrifying. It is also enlightening. For Ashton, it is the horrifying truth of his existence. His world is not infinite. It is a finite, constructed space. The green grid is the raw material of his reality. It is the code made visible. This scene shows the limits of a simulated being's perception. Until that point, Ashton's world was seamless. It was convincing. The illusion only breaks when he pushes against its unseen limits. He touches the walls of his cage. He sees the bars. This edge of the world scenario is a powerful symbol. It represents the limitations of any constructed reality. What if our own universe has such an edge? What if there are boundaries we cannot yet perceive? Scientists search for the fundamental laws of physics. They probe the smallest particles and the largest structures. Are they, in a way, looking for the green grid? Are they trying to find the source code of our own existence? The film suggests this is a valid, if unsettling, pursuit. The revelation of the grid is a moment of true horror for the simulated being. It is the ultimate fishbowl metaphor made manifest. The water ends, the glass appears. Ashton's breakdown is understandable. His entire life, his identity crumbles. He is not who he thought he was. His world is not what he believed it to be. This scene is crucial. It shows that even the most convincing illusion can shatter. It takes just one persistent soul to drive to the very edge of what is known, or what is allowed to be known. A borrowed life. Who is Douglas Hall? Douglas Hall is the film's central character. He is our guide through these confusing layers. At first, he seems to be a man in control. He is a co-creator of the 1937 simulation. He understands its mechanics, or so he thinks, but his identity begins to unravel. He suffers from memory loss. He's implicated in a murder. He starts to question who he is. Is he Douglas Hall, the programmer, or is he someone else, someone from inside the simulation, or perhaps someone from outside his own perceived reality? His struggle is with a constructed identity. He discovers that his personality, his memories, might not be entirely his own. Hannon Fuller, his mentor, used the simulation to live out fantasies. He inhabited the body of a character named Grierson. When Fuller is murdered, Douglas is suspected. He then uses the system himself. He downloads into the 1937 simulation. He takes over the body of a bank clerk named John Ferguson. This act of inhabiting another's life mirrors his own predicament. Is Douglas Hall himself an inhabited vessel? The film suggests that Douglas Hall, in the 2024 world, is, in fact, a personality construct. He is an avatar for David, the user from the higher 2024 reality, our present. David created Douglas to experience life in the simulated 2024. This means Douglas's life, his feelings, his very consciousness are borrowed. He is living a pre-written role. His search for truth becomes a search for his own origin, a search for the real person behind the mask. This is a profound identity crisis. This raises deep questions about what makes us human. If our memories can be implanted, what is real? If our personalities can be programmed, where does the self reside? Douglas Hall's journey is one of existential dread. He's fighting for a self that might not even be his. He is a ghost in the machine, or rather a consciousness trapped within layers of machines. His struggle is to find authenticity in a world and a self built on artifice, a truly difficult, perhaps impossible task. Unseen audience. Are we performers? The film implies we are all potentially performers. The characters in the 1937 simulation are unaware. They live their lives. They believe they act of their own free will, yet users from 2024 can jack in. They can take over these characters. They can use them like puppets. The 1937 inhabitants become unwilling actors in someone else's drama. This is a deeply unsettling thought. It suggests a lack of autonomy. It suggests our most private moments might be observed or even controlled. Consider the perspective of the simulated beings. Imagine discovering your life is a game for someone else. Your deepest emotions, your struggles, your triumphs, all for the entertainment or research of an unseen audience. Detective McBain in 1937 is a prime example. He is a dedicated, complex individual. He is also a plaything. When Douglas Hall inhabits John Ferguson, Ferguson's consciousness is suppressed. He becomes a passenger in his own body. This is a violation of the self. It is a profound exploitation. The film then extends this. The 2024 world, Douglas Hall's world, is also a performance. It is a simulation created for users in a higher reality. So Douglas, who once played Puppet Master, is himself a puppet. Jane Fuller from the higher 2024 enters the simulated 2024 to interact with him. This creates a hierarchy of observation. Everyone is watching someone and everyone is being watched. The question becomes, who is in the ultimate audience? Is there an end to this chain of voyeurs? This speaks to a primal fear, the fear of being judged, the fear of being manipulated. In our own world, we share our lives on social media. We curate our online personas. Are we not, in a sense, performing for an unseen audience? The film taps into this modern anxiety. It makes us question the authenticity of our interactions. It makes us wonder about the motives of those who observe us. Are we living, or are we merely acting out a script we did not write? The line blurs. Searching for the seams. The fracture strategy. If one is trapped in a simulation, how does one escape? The film does not offer a simple manual, but it hints at possibilities. The ionic fracture hypothesis is a concept from Gnostic thought. It suggests that the created world, the Demiurge's world, is flawed. It has cracks, it has inconsistencies. These are the ionic fractures. By finding these fractures, one might glimpse the reality beyond. One might even find a way out. This is a strategy of active rebellion against the simulated reality. For Douglas Hall, this means paying attention to the glitches, the anomalies, the moments when reality does not quite add up. His memory lapses are a clue. The strange behavior of other characters is a clue. The very technology he uses, the simulation device, is itself a gateway. It allows movement between layers. Could he use this technology to ascend, to reach the higher reality that created his own? He must become a detective of his own existence. He must look for the seams in the fabric of his world. Ashton's discovery of the green grid was one such fracture. He found a literal edge. This was a violent, direct confrontation with the simulation's limits. Douglas's path might be more subtle. He needs to understand the rules of his fishbowl. He needs to learn how it is programmed. Knowledge is power, even in a simulated world. If he can understand the system, he might be able to exploit its weaknesses. He might find a backdoor or a hidden command. The film shows Douglas eventually uploads his consciousness. He transfers to the higher reality, taking over David's body. This is a form of escape. It is achieved by understanding and using the system's own mechanisms. It is like finding an exploit in a piece of software. This is the essence of the fracture strategy. Do not just accept the reality given to you. Test it. Probe it. Look for the inconsistencies. The creators of the simulation might be powerful, but they are not perfect. Their constructs will have flaws. These flaws are the keys to liberation. Puppets and masters. The ethics of invention, the creation of sentient simulations, raises profound ethical questions, explores this territory. Hannon Fuller and Douglas Hall create a detailed 1937 Los Angeles. It is populated with conscious, feeling beings. These beings believe their lives are real, yet they are treated as objects by their creators. Users from 2024 can enter their world. They can indulge in desires without consequence. They can even commit murder, as Fuller seemingly does. Is this morally defensible? The film shows the casual cruelty of the masters. Fuller uses his creation for selfish pleasure. He lives out fantasies as the character Grierson. He manipulates and deceives the simulated inhabitants. He shows little regard for their autonomy or their feelings. This mirrors the Gnostic idea of the Demiurge, a flawed creator who toys with his creations. The simulated beings are essentially slaves. Their existence serves the whims of those in the layer above. This is a stark depiction of power imbalance. When Douglas Hall learns his own 2024 world is a simulation, the ethics become personal. He realizes he is also a puppet. His creator David built the 2024 simulation. David, from the real 2024, implied to be our near future, used it to experience a different life. He designed Douglas as an avatar. This makes David a master, and Douglas, unknowingly, his tool. The pain and confusion Douglas experiences are real to him, but to David they might be mere data points or part of the game. The film does not offer easy solutions to these ethical dilemmas, it simply presents them. What rights should a simulated consciousness have? If a being can suffer, does its origin matter? If it is only code, does that make its pain less real? These are questions we are beginning to grapple with. Artificial intelligence is advancing. Virtual worlds are becoming more sophisticated. Serves as a cautionary tale. It warns us about the responsibilities that come with the power to create artificial life, or artificial realities. The infinite aquarium? No surface in sight. The ending offers a kind of escape for Douglas Hall. He transcends his simulated 2024. He arrives in the higher reality of his creator, David. He is united with Jane Fuller. It seems like a happy ending. But the film has planted a seed of doubt. If his 2024 world was a simulation, what about this new world? How can he be sure this is the final layer, the ultimate reality? The film leaves this question open. It is a chilling implication. The fishbowl may have no top. You escape one, you find yourself in another larger one. This is the true horror of the infinite regress. Each awakening could be a false one. Each reality could be just another level of the simulation. This aligns with some interpretations of Gnostic cosmology. The layers of heavens or eons separating humanity from the true God are numerous. Escaping one prison might only lead to another more subtly disguised. There is no easy path to ultimate truth. The film's message encourages us to question, to be skeptical of what we perceive as absolute reality. It is not about inducing paranoia, it is about fostering critical thinking, about understanding that our senses can be fooled, that our assumptions about the world might be flawed. The characters who find some measure of truth are those who question, those who dare to look beyond the painted scenery of their lives, those who are not content to swim blindly in their bowl. So the final warning remains. The aquarium might be vast, it might be comfortable, but it is still an aquarium and there might be no surface in sight. The search for reality is an ongoing process. It may be an infinite one. We must remain vigilant. We must keep questioning. Perhaps the act of questioning itself is the only true freedom we can attain. The film does not give us a map out of the maze. It only confirms we are in one, and that perhaps is the most important discovery of all.